Alright, legends, welcome back. Okay, so in this video, I want to talk about objects. And yes, objects is part of object-oriented programming, or OOP. I'm sure you've heard of it, and yes, this is our first video on object-oriented programming. And within objects come two parts. There's properties, which is kind of just like an array or a variable, so something we've already learned. And then there's a method. So inside objects, there's two things we need to focus on: properties and methods. Let me give you an example. So I'm going to go ahead and create a variable, and I'll call it first var, and we'll set it equal to a string. We'll just say, what's going on in the world? Going on in the world. So for the object, this would obviously be my property. This is a variable that contains this value, what's going on in the world, and this is my string. So how can I add my method to this? Well, what we want to do is, let's go back to document write, and let's output a couple methods, and we're going to combine our property and a method. We'll actually do a few methods, and we'll see how to create an object. And this is really our first step to object-oriented programming. And if this makes sense, and I think it should, in the next video, we'll create kind of custom objects. So you guys know document write by now. And in here, let's go close it out right now. Let's go ahead and create our variable. And how do we add on our method to our property? So keep in mind, this is our property right now, and we need to add a method to it to create our object, because we're doing object-oriented programming right now. And how we do it in JavaScript is we add a decimal, just like that. Now there's already, the method is kind of like the function, what we want it to do. And in JavaScript or in any programming language, there's always functions that always have been compiled. So the first function we could talk about is, let's go ahead and do char at and give it its parentheses just like that. And let's go ahead and save this. And let's reload it. Oh, I didn't give it a value. So I'll go ahead and type first var, again, is our property, dot char, no, not chat, char. Should turn silver. There it is. Okay, dot char. And this is our method. So we just created an object. Now I want to output it. And I'll just type in 13 because it's, I don't know, it's bad luck, I guess. I don't know. But let's make it good luck. Let's reload it. There it is. Oh, so what this method did was it counted this string, and this string is probably like 30 characters long. So let's count it out. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Let's just, okay, so 13 is the O right here. So we type in 14, this should be N. Let's go ahead and save that, reload it, N, just like that. That's our output. So we just created an object in JavaScript. All we did was combine a property, which is a variable that contains a value, with a method, which is the dot char at. Keep in mind, I didn't make this up. I'm not just making stuff up on the fly. You could Google this and you'll see the correct definition, and there's probably going to be examples of it. I'll use another JavaScript method to create a new function or a new object, and this will be called toUpperCase. This is like one of the first JavaScript functions or methods, I'm sorry, that you'll remember. And it was for me. I don't know if it's fair to say. It might not be for you. But you can imagine what it's going to do. It's just going to grab this string and create a program that capitalizes every single character in our string, in our variable. So let's save this. Let's reload it. No. What did we do wrong? Oh, I didn't give it its own parentheses. What's going on in the world in caps? And I've got TextMate. So TextMate helps you out because you can see that when you've correctly written a function or a method, that it changes colors on you. So that should have been a red flag of why I was missing that. So would be another method that we could add to our property of first variable to create one last object. And I will just go with, this is kind of a cool method. It's sub str. I don't believe this S is capitalized. I don't think it is. So what we're going to do, what this method does, is it extracts characters from a string from specified places. And in this for this example, we'll give it 2. So we're going to head and give it 13, which I believe was our O right here, and we'll add 5 more spaces to it. So we're talking 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18 and 13 should be 5. That should be the difference. I know it's kind of confusing, but what we're saying is we're starting at 13, we're going 5 more places, or we can go 10 more spaces, and it's only going to grab that stuff, and it's going to output it. So it should grab pretty much like something like that, on in the world, maybe on in the W. So let's go ahead and save that and reload it. On in the, okay, so that was 10 spaces after the 13th. So hopefully this made a little bit of sense. In the next video, we'll talk a little bit more about object-oriented programming, and it's good to know because it's kind of the future of the world and how people program, and not just JavaScript, but PHP and Objective-C and yada, yada, yada. All right, guys, good luck with this. I'll see you guys in the next video.